"You have 6 months," the man said calmly. "If you're not pregnant by then, your family in Lagos will suffer for it." Aisha Bello stood frozen in the marble bathroom, her hands shaking as thunder crashed outside the Seoul penthouse. She was only 19. She had never been kissed. Marriage, to her, meant safety, not fear. Across the room, her husband watched her silently, powerful, untouchable, already deciding her future. "Your father signed the papers. My empire needs an heir. Your family needs my money. This is how both survive." Her passport was locked away. Her phone was monitored. Her body was no longer her own. In her pocket, Aisha felt the small object her mother slipped into her hand at the airport, something she hadn't looked at yet. As the door closed behind him, Aisha realized something terrifying. This marriage wasn't about love, it was about obedience. And if she failed, everyone she loved would pay the price. But Aisha had one secret, and it could destroy them all. This story is wild. If you're already enjoying this story, show some love by hitting that like button and subscribing to Love and Tension for more intense romance stories like this. And comment below where you're watching from. I love seeing our global community. Now, back to the story. 3 days before the men came, Aisha Bello turned 19. Her younger siblings decorated their cramped Lagos apartment with crayon drawings of stethoscopes, her dream rendered in childish hope. Her mother, Amara, baked chin-chin with the last of their sugar, each golden piece a miracle of love over scarcity. "Make a wish, my star," her father said, voice carrying grief he thought she couldn't hear. "University of Lagos, nursing program, a future I build myself." She blew out the candle. Her mother watched from the kitchen doorway, hands twisting, eyes glistening with something that looked too much like goodbye. Then came the knock, 3 sharp raps that silenced everything. 2 men in black suits stepped inside like death itself had arrived in Italian leather. They placed an envelope on the chipped table. "Miss Aisha Bello, your presence is required in Seoul. Your father has entered a marriage contract on your behalf. Passport, visa, one-way ticket, marriage certificate to a man named Kang Ji-woo." "Baba, what is this?" Chief Emmanuel Bello collapsed into his chair, shoulders heaving. "They were going to take everything. The loan sharks showed me pictures of your sisters, which schools, which routes home. I couldn't." "So you sold me?" "I secured your future. You'll live in luxury, never go hungry." "I don't want a good life, Baba. I want my life." "You want to live," he interrupted, voice hard, "because the alternative is your sisters paying your debts in ways that will destroy them." The math was brutal. 1 daughter's freedom for 3 daughters' safety. That night, Aisha lay beside her sisters one last time. Her mother sang Yoruba lullabies through tears and pressed a small cloth pouch into her palm. "Herbs from our village," Amara whispered. "They give you choices when men try to take them away. Remember, they can own the papers, but never you." 17 hours in the air felt like dying slowly. Aisha watched Africa shrink beneath her, then vanish into blue nothing. At Seoul's airport, a woman waited. "I am Mrs. Han. I manage Mr. Kang's household. You will address him as sir or husband only." The drive revealed a city of neon and glass towers. Beautiful, foreign, suffocating. "Do not leave without permission. Do not contact family without approval. Do not embarrass Mr. Kang. Try not to look so frightened. It's unbecoming." "What is my role?" Mrs. Han's laugh was sharp. "Wife, decoration, proof of his power, incubator for his heir." The Kang residence sat behind walls crowned with cameras. Inside, cold marble and sharp edges. Beautiful the way a knife is beautiful. "Mr. Kang is handling business. The wedding is in 1 hour." The dress was white silk, traditional Korean, too tight. The jade jewelry felt like shackles. Aisha stared at her reflection and saw a ghost. The man who entered moved like contained violence. Kang Ji-woo. Tall, early 40s, features carved from severity, eyes holding decades of winter, silver-templed despite his youth, as if grief had painted him prematurely. He studied her like assessing newly acquired art. "You're younger than expected. Your father said 22. "My father says many lies to save his skin." Something flickered in his eyes. He produced a diamond necklace, moved behind her to fasten it. His hands were efficient, clinical, not quite touching her skin. "This was my mother's. You'll wear it." "Do I have a choice?" Long silence. "No, neither of us do." The ceremony was Korean. Aisha understood nothing except the weight of the platinum ring. When time came to kiss, he brushed her forehead like she was a child. Then he left. Aisha stood alone in her wedding dress, listening to her new reality settle like snow. Piano music drifted down that first night, haunting and slow, the same melody repeating like prayer or curse. Aisha followed it through hallways lined with photographs of a beautiful Korean woman. "His wife's favorite song," Mrs. Han said, materializing beside her. "Min So, dead 3 years. Cancer took her and their son within 6 months. You'll never replace her." 5 days of suffocating monotony. Aisha wandered, finding locked doors, cameras everywhere, Mrs. Han always watching. Ji-Roo appeared only at breakfast, silent, distant, reading newspapers while she pushed food around. He never touched her, never spoke beyond courtesies, never acknowledged her beyond minimum requirement. On the 6th morning, something snapped. Aisha found the kitchen at dawn and cooked jollof rice, pepper soup, fried plantains. Familiar smells wrapped around her like her mother's arms. For the first time, she felt almost human. She was humming when she felt eyes. Ji-Woo stood in the doorway in pajamas, hair disheveled, feet bare, younger, vulnerable, human. That song, what is it? A lullaby, Nigerian. My mother sang it when I couldn't sleep. It's beautiful. Silence. The rice bubbled. Morning light painted everything gold. My wife made kimchi jjigae every Sunday. She'd sing while cooking, off-key, terrible, but I'd give anything to hear it again. His jaw tightened. She died because I couldn't protect her. The organization I worked in had enemies. They poisoned her and my son, made it look like cancer. By the time I knew, they were gone. I'm sorry. His eyes met hers. She saw grief so profound it had carved him hollow. Are you afraid of me? Yes. Good. Fear keeps you safe. The food smells like home. I didn't think I'd use that word again. That afternoon, Aisha woke to a smartphone on her nightstand. Unlocked. Nigerian music already downloaded. Burna Boy, Wizkid, Thames, songs from home. No note, just mercy from a man who dealt in cruelties. Act 4. The Attack. The attack came Tuesday night without warning. First, window exploded. Glass rained down, shouting, gunfire. A hand yanked her up. Move! Ji-Woo pulled her through chaos, other hand holding a gun, blood streaking his shirt. They reached a panic room as more shots erupted. You're hurt. It's nothing. Give me the medical kit, now. Ji-Woo stared, surprised. You know first aid? I was supposed to be a nursing student, remember? Before I became your wife instead? She worked in silence, cleaning the gunshot graze with steady hands. He watched her. You're good at this. I was good at many things. I'll never know what I could have been. His hand caught hers, his eyes locked on hers, and for the first time, he really saw her. Aisha, I'm sorry for all of this. Sorry doesn't give me back my life. But her hands were gentle as she finished bandaging him. Act 5. The Safe House. The safe house was traditional Hanok in the mountains. Forest, silence, alone. Why did you protect me? Aisha asked. You could have run. Why didn't you? Ji-Woo stared into the fireplace. Because I know what it's like to lose everything. Min-So and Tae-min, our son, tiny hands, big dreams, learning piano, then gone. And I couldn't protect them. The men who killed them made it look natural. I couldn't prove murder, just watch them die slowly. and built walls so high no one could hurt you again. Yes, and somehow you're climbing them anyway. I'm not trying to. I know. That's what makes it terrifying. He moved closer. When I hear you singing, when I see you reading medical books like you still believe in futures, you make me remember there's more than survival, more than revenge. You make me remember being human. You're still human, Jiwoo. Am I? I bought a girl, forced her into marriage. What part of that is human? I want to give you a choice. I'll arrange your passage to Lagos. Pay your father's debts. You'll be free. And if I stay, we start over. No contracts, just possibility. That night, Aisha pulled out her mother's pouch. Inside, herbs and instructions for when you need control over your body. She stared at it, then hid it again, unopened. If you're feeling Aisha's journey, hit that like button and subscribe to Love and Tension for more stories that keep you on the edge. Drop a comment telling me where you're watching from. I love connecting with you all. Now, let's see what happens next. Back in Seoul, life developed a rhythm. Ji-woo taught Aisha Korean. She cooked Nigerian food that made him smile. They talked about everything except what they were becoming. Then Dr. Kim came. Dr. Kim, Ji-woo's late wife's oncologist, now friend, arrived with grave news. Mrs. Han has been asking questions about Aisha's legal status, about the contract. Ji-woo's face drained. No. What contingency clauses? Aisha stood. Dr. Kim handed her a folder, documents in English and Korean, her father's signature, terms that turned her blood to ice. Collateral agreement, Bello-Kong merger. Subject, Aisha Bello, age 19. Purpose, marriage, securing West African shipping route access. Terms, subject remains until production of viable heir or 5 years. Payment, 200 million naira, paid in full. Status, transaction complete. Transaction, subject, production of heir. You bought me. Aisha's voice shook. Not married, bought me, like livestock. Aisha, the kindness, the music, the Korean lessons, just maintaining your investment, your broodmare? I was going to tell you, tear up the contract. When? After you'd gotten me pregnant? She slapped him, hard, enough to snap his head sideways. You don't get to love me. Love requires choice. Love requires equality. I have never been your equal, just your property with a pretty collar. She ran. Dr. Kim found her hours later by the koi pond. You should hate him. I do. Do you? Silence. There are things you don't know. He showed her photos. A week before your father signed, a gang was stalking you. They had photos, your route home, your sister's names. Your father called everywhere. Most wanted to traffic you. Real trafficking. Ji-woo's contract was the only one with actual marriage and protection. That doesn't make it right. No, but it makes it less black and white. Your father didn't sell you for profit, to keep you alive. Ji-woo didn't buy you for an heir. He uses his wealth to protect now. This was his twisted way of saving you. Understanding without forgiveness. Context without absolution. That night, Ji-woo slid an envelope under her door. The original contract, torn in half. New passport. Plane tickets to Lagos. Bank information for university 3 times over. A note. You're free. Completely free. Contract void. You owe me nothing. I'm sorry I stole your choice. Now I'm giving it back. Aisha stood holding her freedom. She could leave, start over, but freedom felt cold, empty, wrong. She found him in his study, surrounded by photos of ghosts. Wait. Ji-woo stopped, not turning. You should go. Flight leaves in 3 hours. What if I wanted to stay? Not because I have to, because I choose to, because you gave me the choice. He turned, disbelief written across his face. I'm angry, furious. I don't trust you yet, maybe never will completely, but I see you trying. Maybe we both deserve the chance to become who we could have been if the world had been kinder." Jiwoo crossed the distance, fell to his knees, tears streaming. "I will spend every day earning this. Every single day. I'll tear down my empire if needed, become whatever you need. I don't need you to be anything except honest, and I need you to help me become who I was supposed to be, starting with nursing school. Yes, anything. And understand, if you ever lie again, make decisions without me, treat me like property, I leave, and you won't find me. Clear? Crystal. Then get up. We have work to do." 8 months passed. Jiwoo kept his word. Syndicate operations dismantled. Money laundering became humanitarian foundations. Protection rackets became trafficking survivor shelters. It cost him everything. He paid willingly. Aisha enrolled at Seoul National University nursing program. Oldest in her class, only African, also top of her class, hungry, reclaiming stolen futures. They painted walls in colors she chose, African textiles mixed with Korean art, music blended both worlds. Mrs. Han quit. "You've gone soft." "No," Jiwoo replied, watching Aisha teach his security team to cook. "She made me human again." They weren't perfect. Arguments about past and future, days when wounds ached. But they kept choosing each other. Dr. Kim became family, grandfather figure finding redemption in theirs. Then news, Mrs. Han arrested, evidence of selling secrets for years, obsessed with preserving Minseo's memory, twisted into poison. "She was in love with Minseo, not you," Dr. Kim explained. "Her loyalty died when your wife did." Jiwoo felt nothing. No anger, just exhaustion. "I'm tired of revenge. I just want to build something good. Let's be naive together," Aisha said. 1 year after the contract was destroyed, Jiwoo knelt at Riverside Park. "Marry me again. No contracts, no debt. Just you and me and choice. Or don't, and we'll still be partners. But I wanted to ask." A crowd gathered. "Yes, yes, you ridiculous man." Applause, music, flower petals. They married a month later. Aisha in Nigerian Iro and Buba, indigo and gold. Jiwoo in hanbok, both crying. Amara flew from Lagos. She had a private conversation with Jiwoo. "You hurt my daughter, broke her heart before healing it. I should hate you." "You should. But she loves you. She's happy. She chose freely." Amara's eyes hardened. "So I give you the same chance she did. Earn it. Every day. Because if you fail her, there's nowhere a mother's curse won't find you." This time when Jiwoo kissed his bride, it was soft, sweet, unhurried. This time, Aisha kissed back. This time, they both meant it. 2 years after her forced arrival, Aisha graduated top of her class. Jiwoo and Amara cried in the audience. She opened a foundation branch in Lagos, shelter and clinic for women escaping forced marriages, trafficking, violence. She ran it with fierce compassion, showing others survival was possible. Jiwoo transitioned fully from crime. His empire now focused on ethical trade. Old associates called him weak. He called himself free. They split time between Seoul and Lagos, belonging to neither and both. Letter came from her father. He was dying, cancer, wanted to see her. "Do you want to go?" Jiwoo asked. "I never got to say goodbye to my wife and son," he said quietly. "Last thing I told my wife was I'd be late for dinner. Last thing I told my son was stop jumping on the couch. Then they were gone." They went. The hospital room was dim. Chief Nuosu looked nothing like the man who'd signed those papers. Shrunken, yellowed, dying from inside. But his eyes still held her father. "Baby girl," he whispered. The childhood name cracked something inside her. "I'm sorry. Every day since you left, I've been sorry. I thought I was saving you." He coughed. "I was wrong. Should have found another way." Aisha took his withered hand. "No, I can't forgive you. Not completely. Maybe never. But I understand why. And I don't hate you anymore. That's the best I can do. That's more than I deserve. Relief flooded his dying features. You're happy? He treats you well? I'm happy, Daddy, not because he treats me well, but because I fought for my happiness and won. I'm a nurse now. I help people. I have a life I chose. She cried at her funeral, not for the man he'd become, but for the father he'd once been, for complicated love and impossible choices, for all the ways people break trying to protect what they love. 1 year later, Aisha stood on the Foundation's Lagos rooftop watching sunset. Life split between two countries, both worlds merged. Ji-woo found her there. We've done good work, he said. 40 women freed this month alone, and more waiting. Aisha's hand rested unconsciously on her abdomen. For weeks, she'd felt different. The signs were subtle: missed cycle, morning nausea she'd hidden, exhaustion that went beyond busy days. The pregnancy test hidden in her bag had shown 2 lines this morning, but she hadn't told him yet, because there were things Ji-woo didn't know. The herbs her mother gave her, she'd researched them finally. They didn't prevent conception, they did something else, something that could mask paternity, make genetic testing unreliable. And that figure in the Lagos market last month, the one who'd approached her with whispered warnings about Ji-woo's past, about enemies still waiting, about insurance she might need, she'd dismissed him as paranoia, but his card is still in her pocket. What are you thinking about? Ji-woo asked, wrapping arms around her from behind. The future, Aisha said. Not a lie. All the possibilities. Tonight, she'd scheduled a private clinic appointment. The doctor was discreet. One Dr. Kim had never met. The ultrasound would tell her more. But would she tell Ji-woo the truth, whatever it was? Or would she keep this final secret, this last piece of power in a relationship built on stolen choices? I love you, Ji-woo murmured into her hair. Whatever comes, we face it together, right? Right, Aisha agreed. Her fingers traced the herb pouch in her pocket, then the mysterious business card. Below them, Lagos hummed with life. Somewhere in the city, the mysterious figure waited. Ally or enemy she still didn't know. In Seoul, Mrs. Han sat in prison, but her network remained. And in Aisha's womb, cells divided, carrying secrets that could either bind their worlds forever or tear them catastrophically apart. Ji-woo's phone buzzed. A message flashed. Congratulations on the upcoming edition. Some gifts carry unexpected complications. A friend. He tensed. Who knows? Knows what? Aisha asked innocently. That you're... He stopped. You are, aren't you? Pregnant? Her silence was answer enough. How long have you known? Does it matter? The sunset bled across the sky, turning everything gold and red. A black car idled in the street below, new, unfamiliar, tinted windows reflecting nothing. Aisha. Ji-woo turned her to face him. Whose child is this? She met his gaze. Yours, mine, ours. Does it matter whose blood? Or does it matter whose choice? His hands trembled on her shoulders. Suspicion flickered in his eyes. Suspicion she'd planted deliberately or accidentally. She wasn't sure anymore. I need to know I can trust you. You need to know? Aisha's laugh was sharp. After everything, you need certainty? Welcome to my world, husband. Thunder rumbled in the distance. The black car's engine started. We should go inside, Ji-woo said. But he didn't move. He stared at her like trying to decode a language he'd never learned. Aisha touched her stomach. Inside, a heartbeat. Or was there? The herbs created ambiguity, her mother had written. Doubt is power. Truth is vulnerability. Choose wisely. Tomorrow, she said. Tomorrow we'll go to the clinic, see the ultrasound, face whatever comes. Together. Together, Ji-woo echoed. But the word tasted different now. Promise or question? As they walked inside, Aisha's phone buzzed. A message from an unknown number. The seeds you plant determine the harvest you reap. Choose your garden carefully. Your mother's sister. Her mother had no sister. The message deleted itself. Ji-woo's security team mobilized. The Foundation's cameras captured the black car driving away. And in Aisha's pocket, the pregnancy test and the herbs and the business card all whispered different futures. Was the child his victory? Her revenge? An innocent life caught between two worlds? Or something else entirely, a wild card neither had anticipated? In her reflection in the glass, Aisha smiled. Not the innocent smile of the girl she'd been, not the broken smile of the purchased bride, but the enigmatic smile of a woman who'd learned that secrets were currency, and she had just become very, very rich. The story wasn't over. It was just beginning, and this time, she was writing it herself. If you made it this far, thank you for journeying with Aisha and Jiwoo. Their story reminds us that healing is complex, that choice matters, that sometimes our darkest chapters become the foundation for our most powerful transformations. Hit subscribe to Love and Tension for more stories that keep you guessing. And remember, you are more than what happened to you. You are what you choose to become. If you want a part 2 of this, let me know in the comment section, and you'll get it right away.